So we have an Ollie's store near us. I've been in and out of there a few times over the years, but now that Big Lots is closed, I really wanted to go in there with a different pair of eyes to see if Ollie's is really a good replacement for Big Lots. I love Big Lots and I loved Big Lots. They're out of business now, but let me show you what I got from Ollie's on this most recent trip. So right here I picked up 2 boxes. These are really big boxes, 26.7 ounces of Hungry Jack mashed potatoes. The reason why I wanted these is because as I'm building my long-term food storage, I wanted some more shelf-stable items. And while I did find a source for bulk potatoes, while I still try to figure out how to store cases of potatoes, I wanted to go ahead and add some of these potato flakes or mashed potatoes to our long-term food storage. Another reason why I was in Ollie's again recently is because I was there about a month ago and I saw some canning jars, and then I went to Tractor Supply and saw the same canning jars. Now, Ollie's had them for $9.99 per case. This is a case of 12 1-liter mason jars. Tractor Supply had the same ones for $14.99, so there was a $5 savings per case at Ollie's. And because I am going to start canning again, I needed to repurchase all of the canning supplies that I got rid of a few years ago. So with that in mind, I purchased 4 cases of the 1-liter mason jars, and I purchased one case of the 500 milliliter ones. Now, what I'm going to be using the bigger ones for primarily would be, I'm going to be canning vegetables, and I might even attempt to can some meat, but I will absolutely be canning some of the dry beans, and then I'm going to cook them and then can them. And in the smaller jars, I will be canning preserves and jellies. I forgot to mention that with the larger one, I'm also going to be canning fruit. So I know for sure that I'm getting 2 cases of peaches from the peach tree in early June. So I am preparing for that by making sure that I have enough canning jars. I've canned peaches before, but I'll be canning again soon. So I need to make sure that I have enough jars on hand. I do have some left over from my previous canning endeavors, but not enough. So another thing that I needed to replace from my previous canning endeavors is my stock pot. So I need this for my water bath canning. This is a 12-quart stainless steel stock pot. I used to have a set of 3 of varying sizes, but I'm down to this one right here, and that's okay because I think that's all I'm going to need this go round. I also have a pressure canner that should be in on Wednesday. I ordered that from Wayfair, so I'm excited about getting that in the mail. Right here is a set of 4 coasters that my husband saw. These are granite coasters. He liked them when he saw them, so he put these into the cart, and I'm sure you could hear how heavy they were when they hit the granite countertop. But this 4-pack of granite coasters was just $3.99. That is completely giving me Big Lots vibes. Here I have some pizzelles. These are dark chocolate ones. I love pizzelles. I get them from an international grocery store that we have here, and another one-off grocery store, but they're kind of expensive at those 2 places. But Ollie's has them for really dirt cheap, which is actually part of what they say at Ollie's. I think it's good stuff, dirt cheap or something like that. But this, it was just $3.99, and it does not expire until June 19th of this year. So I got 2 packs of those, and as you can see, I already opened one of those packs. Another thing that I picked up is a pair of tongs. I needed some smaller tongs. I have several large pairs, but for these frequent family meals that we have, buffet style, I needed to make sure that I got some smaller ones for the smaller items that we pick up, and this was just $3.99. These are really substantially weighted. They are excellent quality silicone and metal here, so I'm excited that I was able to find those. And by the way, they're from a brand called CWC, Cook with Color. Cook with Color, and they have a really good selection of Cook with Color items at Ollie's. I'm going to struggle to not go back and pick up things that I don't need, but that's where we are. Right here I have a pie server or a cake server. I use it for that as well. I have an outdated plastic one, and I was looking to just, I don't know, upgrade what's going on here in my utensil drawer for some of the serving dishes, since again I do host quite often and it's fun to have really cool things when you're hosting. This was just $1.99. Can you believe that? $1.99 for this rose gold and this faux marble handle on this pie server. From the same, oh, and that, by the way, that is from Chef Select. It is a copper-plated pie server on steel, it says here. From that same line, I got a whisk. I do have a whisk in my utensil drawer. Let me think this. I think the other one is silicone, if I remember correctly, but I thought this one right here would pair well with the pie server. And then I also, from the same line, the Chef Select, I picked up this slotted spoon. Isn't this beautiful? This slotted spoon right here. It's pretty heavy. So again, none of these things are lightweight. So I'm a big fan of Dollar Tree, but a lot of their serving ware, it's pretty lightweight, but these things are kind of heavy duty. So I like that, especially at this price point. This was just $2.99. I'm going to show you something that I did get from Dollar Tree that would match this product line in just a moment. And then the last thing I got from there was this book right here, Amish Butters, Salsas, and Spreads. There is another book that I would like to get in this series. This was just $6.99. I found the other book on Amazon, but it was, let me think. The other one was specifically for canning, so that's why I really need to get my hands on that one. I think at Amazon it was $9.99. No, that's not right. At Amazon, I believe it was $14.99. So if I can find this at Ollie's, I will maybe have to track it down at a different Ollie's, but I really want the complete set of these recipe books right here. I went away from using recipe books and I started printing things and putting them in a binder. And then I didn't like that idea after a few years either. So then I started saying, I'll just make recipes using my phone while I'm cooking. I don't really care for that method anymore. So I really do want something that I can use offline to help me when I'm preparing different things. So let me show you what's inside the book. Okay, so here is another look at the exterior of the book. It has 60 simple and delicious recipes, it says, and this is by Laura Ann Lapp. And so this book does have a few pages with pictures. I love to see the food pictured because I want to be able to anticipate what my dish should look like. Even if I veer from it a little bit, I like seeing what things should look like. I do love that it's a full color book. And there are lots of recipes for spreads and butters, jams, jellies, and preserves. It's, as it says, it's right here on this page. Some rhubarb jelly there. So this is going to give me an idea. Oh, look at the raspberry jam. Isn't that beautiful? This book is just going to give me an idea of some of the things that I will be canning this year. Now, while I do have some of my own recipes that I would like to use, I am interested in getting some other recipes, even if they call for items that I will not be growing at home. So for instance, I don't believe I'll be growing raspberries this year, but if whether I do or not, I'm open to making that raspberry jam recipe that I saw in that book, and I can just go to the store and buy some raspberries. And that same goes for anything else that I find interesting in there, because I do want to preserve things that I'm growing on my own. However, I do not mind preserving things for our long-term food storage and things that we're going to be rotating through. I don't mind preserving those with items that I purchase at the grocery store. So here is my haul. Oh, there was one more thing I got. That was a box of Pop-Tarts for my son. I don't remember what flavor that was, but We also bought a box of Pop-Tarts, and I feel like I hope this is all of what I purchased on this most recent trip. But so, is Ollie's a good substitute for Big Lots? In my book, as someone who loved shopping at Big Lots, I will say absolutely yes, it is. Now, it is not as bright as Big Lots. It's not as organized as Big Lots, and I like organized stores. I mean, there are organized sections, but the store, it's kind of, at least the one near me, it's a mess. And I find it hard to shop in places like that, but I put that aside for the time that I was in Ollie's. I went there with my husband and our 11-year-old, and we were in there for well over an hour because I had some items that I absolutely needed to find. And then of course, there were some impulse purchases, but I browsed the store more than I normally would browse the store to get an idea of whether or not it would be a good substitute. I don't think I should have got 2 boxes of these natural deals. That it's a good substitute for Big Lots. Do I wish Big Lots were still in business? Yes. But because they are not, I had to find an alternative place to shop for similar items, and Ollie's seems to be the place to fit that. I almost forgot that I was going to show you these trays that I purchased at Big Lots. These are copper colored food trays. I use these typically for lasagnas, and I buy them in bulk in the regular color scheme. I buy them in bulk at Costco, and I just bought another really big pack of them, so I don't really need them. But when I saw this color, I just had to get it. But look here. Look at how well these utensils blend in to this color scheme. So I will be using the utensils on an ongoing basis, but I will serve these, or I will save these trays until fall is upon us, because I feel like they just say fall. So if you have seen any interesting tray colors, I did see some at Dollar Tree. Where I bought these, I saw some that had different exterior colors, but the interior was the regular aluminum that you would see. But if you have seen these trays in any other color scheme for both the inside and the outside, please let me know. I'd love to go get my hands on some alternatively colored trays.